I'm Naina.
And I'm Natasha, and here's what is making news today. There has been a 25% increase in the number of dowry deaths. Our reporters, Naina Chaturvedi and Mugdha Sinha, find out the reasons behind these deaths.
Chandra Mukherjee lost her daughter 2 months ago. Her daughter dies because she was beaten up by her husband for dowry.
बेटी के नाम पिंकी बैनर्जी है और वो मेरी बेटी पर बहुत टॉर्चर करता था, टू मच टॉर्चर कि हम यहाँ पर एक बेंगलोर में फ्लैट दी गई 60 लाख रुपया दाम है, उस अकाउंट में 60 लाख जमा कीजिए, नहीं तो हम आपकी बेटी को जान से मार देंगे। को क्या हुआ कि वो रोटी बना रही थी, उसने उसको मारा जमाई जाकर, वो झोंटा पकड़ खींच कर रहा है, उसे सीने में घुसा मारा हाथ के पास और जाकर लात मारा पेट में, वो बेहोश होकर गिर गई और बहुत ब्लीडिंग हो रहा था।
Pinky is one of the many who is a victim of dowry harassment. In 2015 alone, around 120 cases have been registered. Out of 120 cases registered so far this year, 6 deaths have been reported. Police say there is a 5 to 10% increase in the deaths every year.
Conviction rate is not very high, as stated in that. Are getting educated, they become BT, doctors, MBA, BCom, they become double graduates, they are well versed and they have become highly educated. They come forward even for small things, if they want to put an end to the marriage, what they do normally come and give the complaint. The tolerance level of girls nowadays is on the decrease.
Experts believe that these deaths can be prevented by filing the cases of harassment at the early level.
एंड इतना ही है मैडम, लोगों को या पब्लिक को उसके बारे में अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना, लीगल अवेयरनेस और जो सामाजिक तौर पे जो अवेयरनेस कर सकते हो कि लड़का लड़की दोनों एक ही रहते हैं, उनके बारे में कोई भेदभाव मत करो। और एक ज़रूरी बात यह कि लड़की को पढ़ाओ।
Experts say mere implementation of the laws is not the legal solution to prevent these increasing number of deaths. This is Nana and Mugdha reporting for CityCast.
Anemia is prevalent for female garment workers. Our reporter Anusha Banerjee finds that a whopping 60% of them in the city are anemic.
There are over 703 garment factories employing over 2 lakh women workers in Bangalore. A recent survey by the ESI doctors found that over 60% of these workers were anemic.
हमारे यूनियन के जरिए वही अवेयरनेस देते हैं वर्कर्स को कि आप टाइम पे खाना खाइए, पानी पिए, पानी पीना है आपको, खाना खाना है, ऐसे टॉयलेट पे जाना है। ये सब नहीं करती है। उसकी वजह प्रोडक्शन है लोगों का। जो प्रोडक्शन फिक्स का ये किया जाता है वो एक आवर में 150 पीस होता है। 150 पीस वो लोग एक आवर में रीच करना है उनको। ज़्यादातर खाने की तरफ इंटरेस्ट नहीं देते, जो भी रूखा सूखा वो खा लेते हैं और काम पे निकल जाते हैं। यही वजह है कि उनको कमज़ोरी बहुत है और एनीमिया की समस्या भी होती है।
The government instructed these factories to give away iron tablets and nutritious food to the workers in the canteens, but most of them do not get the time due to unmanageable work pressure resulting to anemia, tuberculosis and other health issues.
Iron content tablets we are supplying through ESI Corporation to the factories. In the survey it was found 60% deficiency of the anemia. That is why government has introduced the tablet supplying scheme.
Most of the workers miss out on lunch every day due to inhuman working targets.
They are not go to lunch. See, the company fixed 30 minutes lunch time. The workers sometimes eat within 5-10 minutes and started the work. And whole day they are working. So they are earning only 6,500 rupees in that. Difficult to buy 2,400 calories food. That is the reason garment workers suffering from anemia.
Doctors in the ESI hospitals instruct them to follow a strict diet chart to take green vegetables, fish and egg for iron intake.
Female patients who come here, most of them will be anemic. Maybe borderline, a few patients do have severe anemia also. Maybe secondary, yes, one major cause could be nutritional. They are not able to provide time, or maybe they are not taking care of themselves.
With majority of these migrant workers being the sole bread earners of their family and young workers losing on their newborn babies every year, it's time we expect a change. This is Anusha Banerjee reporting for CityCast.
It is time for a quick break. See you on the other side. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to CityCast. Bangalore witnesses a spree of robberies. Our reporter Parmeshwar Malba finds that the robbery cases are on the rise and the police is yet to solve 35% of cases.
Bangalore city is becoming burglar city since last 3 years. Number of cases registered in the 2014 are almost double than the previous year. The data from the Bangalore City Crime Record Bureau shows that the number of robbery cases and the chain snatching cases are increased from 619 in 2013 to 1067 in 2014.
When my wife was walking in the road, she was going to that bank, SBL, and immediately those people, one person get down from the bike and snatched the chain.
The data of City Crime Record Bureau says that an average of 88 robbery cases and chain snatching cases a month has been registered in the city police stations last year. City police says they have 3 special teams to catch robbers. They do patrolling all the day and night and mainly focus on old buildings, graveyards and under bridges to catch the robbers. National Crime Record Bureau data says that Karnataka stands 4th in the number of robbery cases registered in the year 2013.
Crime increase is not due to one particular factor. Recent increase in the influx of outsiders who are mostly uneducated, I think, is number one. Number two will be that unemployment continues to remain static or maybe increasing, in that there are so many youngsters who are unemployed, dearth of opportunity for getting a job, or because they are lazy, they don't want to work, they want to indulge in easy money kind of activities. So in the process, they do chain snatching. Another point I may not fail to mention is that of a reduction in the sense of responsibility of the police. These days we don't find very serious, very hardworking police officers.
47,590 criminal cases were registered last year in the city, and around 35% of cases are yet to be solved by the city police. This is Parmeshwar Rao Malba reporting for CityCast.
Authorities drag their feet in replying to RTI queries, which leaves activists open to harassment and attacks. Our reporters Pavitra Parekh and Kedar Deshpande find that the RTI is not being implemented properly.
Businesses like the BBMP receive close to 200 applications every day and 8,000 are still pending. The RTI cell says that they are overburdened and can do nothing more than forwarding the request to the officer concerned. On the other hand, RTI activists often find themselves open to mental harassment, threats, physical abuse by the authorities that they have filed queries against.
We are demanding here BBMP regarding what are all the properties which you have in the BBMP limit. We asked the information since last 5 months back. The BBMP has not given that information.
The RTI Act of 2005 stipulates the time period within which an RTI query has to be responded to, but has no provisions for the protection of these activists. Over the years, the casualties continue to pile up.
It goes from case to case, and especially if the case is regarding real estate and if there is too many things at stake, then I have heard from some activists that they have received some threatening calls from builders. There have been cases where some PIOs directly informed about the query to the builder and the builder called them. So, but again, in my experience, what I've seen is whenever you ask such query, you do get a warning from the miscreants. Okay, they do give a warning, and there it's up to you. Either you drop the case or you go with a lot of people.
Lawyers say that the laws regarding the RTI are hard to implement, and the process requires people to continuously follow up on requests, which can take over a year.
On paper, the entire RTI Act seems really nice, and it seems like the ideal thing that any country should have. But when you come to the application of it, which is the same as with most laws in India, when you come to the application, the implementation of that law is where most of your problems arise. So the implementation can only be improved by cooperation from the authorities.
The NCPRI, an activist body, compiled data on such attacks. Since 2005, 48 activists have been murdered and 91 cases of harassment and more than 100 cases of assault have been reported in the country.
In case any RTI applicant is threatened or attacked, then the information sought by that RTI applicant would be published on the website. And I don't know if that's come into implementation at all. I don't think it has. But there are steps like that you can take to ensure that the threats or the attacks don't happen.
There are many still awaiting a response. The Save Karnataka Foundation recently protested on the BBMP premises asking for a response to an RTI they filed.
BBMP has not provided the information what they have asked in RTI. So BBMP Commissioner made it very clear that BBMP is having all sorts of documents regarding the properties owned by BBMP and even the other properties.
The RTI Act has not been implemented according to the specified guidelines. There are many still awaiting a response, while there are others who bear the brunt for trying to make use of the law. It remains to be seen what steps will be taken to make the Act more effective and the process more efficient. This is Pavitra Parekh and Kedar Deshpande reporting for CityCast.
We'll take a short break. Stay tuned.
Size doesn't matter. Stay healthy.
Welcome back. Cricket umpires are arguably the largest think tanks in a game. But what if these umpires have never played the game themselves? Our reporter Sumed Bilgi tells us more.
Umpiring cricket matches has essentially been a full-time job. It is probably the hardest job on a cricket field, a high adrenaline task. A lot of umpires have been into the profession full-time. But now, a major chunk of the Karnataka umpires come from non-cricketing backgrounds.
The exam were conducted somewhere in 2012-13, and about 400 odd people took the exam from various professions, bankers, and then even from medical professions, sportsmen. In fact, people, players from other sports like hockey, football also came into umpiring examinations, and at least half of them, I think, 50% of them are from other professions other than cricket.
The Karnataka Cricket Umpires Association senior members conduct examinations for umpires on behalf of the Karnataka State Cricket Association when there is a shortage of umpires. According to the Umpires Association, recent examinations have been examples of great interest shown in umpiring in the state.
The number of matches that are being played in Karnataka or for that matter even India have multiplied many-fold. Therefore, the requirement of umpires also increased. At the same time, the new crop came in. And all the facilities that were provided to all umpires also good. Therefore, they started delivering. And today there is no dearth of umpires.
The Karnataka Cricket Umpires Association has almost 150 members, with 1/4 of its members from non-cricketing backgrounds, with which the age-old problem of having shortage of umpires seems to be lost. Sumed Bilgi, CityCast.
Imagine if we can recreate Auckland in every office of the city. Well, that's what is happening. March 26th is witnessing as India battles Australia for the final spot. Our reporter Suraj Rajmohan with more on this.
The match, which was called the final before the finals, turned the Silicon Valley of our country to a mini Auckland, as offices across the city unofficially called it a day off for the semi-finals. This is going to be one of the laziest days in the history of the city, since almost no work is going to get done here for the day. The offices across the cities are almost empty, since most of them are near the television, and the rest skipped the office, giving being unwell as reason. The story is not so different in other parts of the country too. This is Suraj Rajmohan reporting for CityCast.
Thank you for tuning to Bangalore CityCast. For more information, log on to our website www.citycast.in.
Thank you.